Pyramid schemes. The most infamous polyhedron-shaped scam. Pyramid schemes earn money by recruiting new members with promises of easy money. They're easy to spot and avoid, right? All you need to do is look out for someone telling you that they have an easy way to get rich quick. And once you're recruited, all you need to do is recruit others. And the more people who get involved, the more money everybody makes. Wrong. Pyramid schemes have evolved, and you've been falling for a pyramid scheme and you don't even know it. The most dangerous scam that's going around is the genre of videos about how to be a YouTuber, and no one is talking about it. I'm going to explain to you exactly why this entire side of YouTube is a pyramid scheme. Quick side note, throughout this video, I'm going to be referencing this article as part of consumer advice from the Federal Trade Commission. The FTC created this article to help consumers distinguish pyramid schemes from quote-unquote legitimate multi-level marketing business opportunities, because MLMs can still be profitable by selling legitimate products to consumers, and they don't require recruitment like pyramid schemes do. I think both are worth avoiding. So even though I disagree with this distinction in this article, I'm going to be using this as my reference for this video. There's one more thing I want to say. I'm going to critique this genre of YouTube, but I'm worried it might seem like I'm bitter. Watching these YouTube advice channels didn't suddenly make my YouTube channel successful. Maybe I'm absolutely a level 7 susceptible when it comes to these advice channels. If anything, I want to acknowledge that these people are very good at what they do. These content creators are amazing salespeople. It's honestly impressive. So here's why I think this how to be a YouTuber genre of video is a pyramid scheme. The first warning sign of a potential pyramid scheme is that promoters make extravagant promises about your earning potential. Every single channel that shares advice for how to become a YouTuber will have at least one video about how much money they make. Especially when looking at the thumbnails for these videos, it's easy to see how they all follow the same script to share what's supposedly an easy, guaranteed way to earn money. We all know that video thumbnails are designed to catch attention and convince potential viewers they need to click on this video. So it's funny to see that every thumbnail in this genre is exactly the same. The thumbnail almost always shows the YouTuber and then dollar amount / amount of time. Maybe they'll add in some dollar signs or some line graphs if they're feeling special. When everything is attention grabbing, nothing is attention grabbing, and it becomes a bidding war for who can make the biggest promise about money. Kelsey Rodriguez just won the bid because she gave me the number I was looking for, and I'm clicking on her video. How I make money as an artist with exact numbers, seedling emoji. I know this video might seem a little out of place because it seems like it's a video about how to make money as an artist, because that is what the title of the video is. But this video is really about YouTubing. Just give me 83 seconds to get there. I want to talk about this video and Kelsey as a creator because I've been watching her videos for a while now. Her channel is one that I find particularly interesting because I'm also an artist, so we've got that in common. Or do we? I don't want to gatekeep the idea of being an artist, so I won't. But I am going to share some facts and some numbers. Kelsey's Instagram has less than 9 posts from the last year. Less than half of these posts are focused on art. Her current body of work, as presented on her website, includes about 8 more paintings, with only 2 paintings from this year. I have more paintings in this one single project that I've been working on and off for the past year than she has on her entire website. If you were to compare Kelsey's website to the website of a professional artist, you might notice that most of her images aren't labeled, and instead of pictures that focus on the paintings, her pictures are mostly these staged work-in-progress shots with editorial lighting and posed hands. I thought it'd be funny to try and recreate one of her pictures, but she has more plants in this one picture than I have in my entire house, and this is all I've got. So this is where I get to my point. Whether Kelsey is a full-time artist or not, she is not making her money as an artist, as the video title implies. She makes her money as a YouTuber, and more specifically, she makes her money by convincing her audience that they can be quote-unquote artists like her and arranging themselves in the pyramid underneath her. She is selling the idea of making a living as a full-time artist because this video is less about making money as an artist and more about all of the ways that she makes money through YouTube. And I'll talk about all of these ways in a little bit. Kelsey could stop making whatever small amount of art that she makes, and how she makes money as an artist would not change at all. She's making these extravagant claims about how much money she makes, and therefore how much money you could make, which are not going to apply to anyone actually interested in being an artist. This is how she starts off the video.
I think the taboo around income transparency does a disservice to our community. Not knowing what you're worth only makes it easier for you to be taken advantage of. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the exact numbers of how much income I make from all of the income streams that I have as an artist online. And I hope that you see this video as the resource that it's meant to be.
The way that she starts this video is absolutely audacious. She starts by mentioning this taboo around money and makes it seem like she's letting us in on a secret. As if no one else is going to be honest with you, but I'm different and I'm going to let you in on this secret because I care about you and I don't want you to get taken advantage of. She is using loaded language to try to evoke an emotional response by scaring us with this idea of being taken advantage of. Is there a taboo around income transparency in this community? Kelsey has made the same exact video 6 other times. So at a certain point, it stops being about getting a little vulnerable to share this information, and it's about continually bragging about her income as many times as it takes to get her audience to buy into her business. I also want to reference one of the sentences in the description of the video. She says, "I think pay transparency is important because it ensures that other artists compensate themselves fairly for their work and have the tools they need to truly advocate for themselves." This just reminded me of this clip from Parks and Rec.
I'm against crime, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
I think pay transparency is important, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Pay transparency is important, but it's not an argument that needs to be made, and it has nothing to do with this video. If an artist were to actually talk about money and pay transparency, I would expect that conversation to maybe be about setting rates for commissions, or freelance work, or even teaching. Or maybe how to navigate balancing a fair wage while covering business expenses or manufacturing products. She doesn't talk about any of that because this video isn't about transparency. Kelsey's first income source is her online art store. She makes $1,000 to $2,000 a month selling artwork, merchandise, and digital products like Notion templates and workbooks. She shares some specific numbers and talks about how she'd like those numbers to be bigger, as if that needs to be said.
If it is to be said, so it is.
But she doesn't share anything of substance. How does this relate to the self-advocacy that she was talking about? How does knowing that she makes $1,000 a month in her online shop prevent me from getting taken advantage of? Her next source of income is coaching. This is where the people she has recruited for her YouTuber program can pay her for advice on their business. Her downline, basically. Source number 3 is AdSense. She makes money when her viewers watch ads on her videos. Source number 4 is brand deals and sponsorships, of which she makes $4,000 a month from companies that pay her to advertise to the people who watch her videos. Here's a clip where she says she can't give specifics, obviously because brands don't want that information public.
So for legal reasons, I can't tell you exactly how much money I make for every single brand deal, like the specifics, but what I can say is that the bare minimum of money that I make from sponsorships is usually around $4,000 a month, and it could sometimes go all the way up to $7,000 to $8,000, which is a lot of money.
In a scenario where I'm a content creator trying to figure out if a sponsor is paying me fairly, this is the one specific piece of information in this video about making money as an artist that would actually help me. If pay transparency was truly the goal of this video, why exclude the only actual numbers that someone could reference? I can't self-advocacy my way into making more money from my shop, but I could certainly use information about rates for brand deals to make sure that my pay is fair and that I'm not getting taken advantage of. I did find another video on her channel specifically about brand deals, and there are exact numbers in this video, so I'm not sure why she can't give specifics here, but it was fine in this other video. She's established a pretense of caring about pay transparency, but these videos only exist to brag about how much money she's making, to lure us into buying into her pyramid scheme. These YouTubers aren't providing advice and information out of the goodness of their hearts, and they could certainly never put all of their advice into one video. They want us to watch as many of their videos as possible. The more videos we watch, the more ads we sit through, and the more opportunities they have to sell us on things. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but there are so many things that they're constantly trying to sell us on. Isn't it weird that these YouTubers constantly advertise their different products and services only to immediately brag about how much money they're making and pretend it's money that we could be making as well?
So last week I wrapped up a product launch that has so far generated over $10,000 in revenue for my business, $8,000 in direct product sales, and $2,000 in the new brand deals and mentorship clients I've acquired since. This is the largest launch that I've had so far in terms of immediate results.
If I had paid for Kelsey's workshop and then saw this video about how much money I just helped her make,
I'm not sharing this to brag. I just want to give you a realistic idea of what to expect if you wanted to follow in my footsteps.
this is a lie. Kelsey is lying to us. The phrase, what to expect, this amount of income is not a reasonable expectation. This is quite literally an extravagant promise about earning potential, and to present it as an amount of money we can assume will happen is absurd. Additionally, when she says it's what to expect if we were to follow in her footsteps, this is an obvious tell that Kelsey is a salesperson trying to recruit every single person who watches this video into her downline. If I followed her advice, I wouldn't be able to make this money as an artist because she's not making this money as an artist. She is a recruiter, and if we want to be as successful as she is, we will have to make our business recruitment too. In the description of the video, she says, my particular case shines a light on how you don't necessarily need to focus on a product-based business to succeed creatively. We live in the modern era of social media, and that definitely has its pros and cons, but the pros are pretty good. A product-based business would be an art business. Why wouldn't you want to sell art as an artist? I want to acknowledge that there are many ways to make a living as an artist. There are also many parts of this job outside of making art. Either way, most artists don't spend 40 hours a week painting, but you do actually need to be making art to be an artist.
I can't be an art business YouTuber if I don't actually make art and share that with you guys.
I don't know if she's making art, but she's not sharing it on her social media accounts. Again, she doesn't make money as an artist. She makes money by convincing others to start or invest in their art businesses. All 5 of her sources of income benefit from convincing her viewers to spend their time or money. If she successfully sells this idea of being an artist and convinces me to follow her business plan, and then I, 1, buy a template from her website, or 2, keep watching videos on her channel and give her AdSense, or 3, contribute to an audience that she's able to sell for brand deals, or 4, God forbid, she convinces me to pay her actual money for coaching or to attend her workshops, or 5, I forgot to mention this earlier, but her 5th source of income is affiliate marketing. So if I click a referral link because I want to use her camera, she makes money from convincing me to follow in her footsteps. While this video exists for Kelsey to brag about money, this money is not coming from selling the products in her business, but from recruiting her viewers into her pyramid scheme. In this instance, the product for both of us would be art. During a good month, out of her $13,600 in revenue, she makes about $1,500 from her online shop, which is a little more than 10%. Art is just a part of what she sells in her shop, so more than 90% of her income comes from recruitment, either directly or indirectly. This leads to the second sign that a business might be a pyramid scheme. Promoters emphasize recruiting new distributors for your sales network as the real way to make money. The FTC says that in a legitimate MLM program, you should be able to make money just by selling the product. I'm going to talk about another YouTube channel now, which I think is a much clearer example of recruitment being the most profitable aspect of these business models. But they're not businesses, they're pyramid schemes. If pyramid schemes are bad, then how come dollar bills have pyramids on them? Really makes you think. Katie Steckly describes herself as a social media obsessed entrepreneur, part-time van lifer, and travel enthusiast. If I correct the grammar in this sentence, are you going to think I'm a nerd? I've never done anything nerdy before, and I need to make sure this isn't the point where I start acting like one. Katie has a few different YouTube channels, but her main channel is where she posts all of her content creator related videos. Of course, she has plenty of videos about how much money she makes. $500,000. Well, that's not how much money she's made, that's her gross revenue. Yuck. She also has a second channel where she uploads travel vlogs. Vlogging is why she started making videos, and it's how she started her channel. She only started making videos with advice related to social media and content creation when she realized that that's what got more views.
Ever since I was a teenager, I dreamt of being a travel vlogger on YouTube. However, as the algorithm would have it, when my YouTube channel finally did blow up, it wasn't for the travel and filmmaking videos I was making at the time, but instead it was for a one-off Instagram story hacks video.
Her entire channel is centered on advice about growing a YouTube channel and becoming a content creator, and she's presenting herself as an expert on this topic. Despite having multiple videos about how to be a successful vlogger, her entire vlogging channel has fewer views than each of these videos on her advice channel. Despite all these videos about vlogging, Katie is not a successful vlogger or travel influencer, and her success relies on making content about content making. Recruitment content is what her business runs on, and I'm not sure why anyone would follow her advice if she truly had the knowledge, experience, and qualifications to be giving this advice in the first place. She should be able to apply that to her vlogging channel, which is what her true passion seems to be. To explain an even more obvious example, she sells a course called the Instagram Roadmap, because of course she has a course. One of the biggest selling points of this course is that, quote, "You want to get results like this?" She shows videos on her Instagram account with 1.5 thousand likes, 6,000 likes, and 33,000 likes. But she's not sharing her secondary vlogging account, which has much smaller numbers. Of all the videos on this account, the only video that has come close to hitting this metric that she's advertising is this video with 1,300 likes. But it's cross-posted between her accounts, so getting only 1,300 likes from more than 150,000 followers is a bit disappointing. Most of the posts on this account have between 50 and 100 likes. There's nothing wrong with getting less than 50 likes on a post, and I wouldn't want to shame anyone for that. But if someone is selling a course about how to get more likes on Instagram, this is not good. No one would buy this course if it was advertised like this. With an account that looks like this, it becomes obvious that she doesn't have access to good advice because she doesn't know anything. She has no credibility. It's so puzzling to me that social media advice is what kickstarted Katie's channel, and she has been able to build an entire business off of advice about content creation and offer other content creation services when she's never successfully made actual content. Paying Katie for advice on how to have a successful YouTube channel or Instagram account is like buying this book on Amazon about how to make $290,000 selling books for $290,000. These pyramid-shaped businesses are only successful because of a continuous supply of recruits. I've already mentioned a few ways that recruits are profitable for these YouTubers. They watch ads and sponsored segments, click affiliate links, sometimes buy digital products or courses. I want to talk a little more about one final way that recruits become a source of income, which I will explain with my next content creator example. Katliente is a self-described stream advice TikToker. 550K, but she also makes YouTube videos about YouTubing and other content creation. I guess if you're someone who makes videos on TikTok about how to stream on Twitch, this would be a good way to describe who you are. But I just cannot imagine wanting this as a description for yourself. My bio will always be some version of who I am or what I make, not what kind of content I share on what platforms. But maybe this would change if I suddenly had a gazillion followers on Glorp. And the 550K is so silly. You can see that I have this many followers on this website, but it's really important to me that you know I have a bigger number of followers on another website. The number over there is more big. If I were creating a proposal for an even worse timeline of existence, here's how it would go. Imagine meeting someone for the first time, and you don't know if you should show them respect or not, because you don't know how many followers they have. Do I have a solution for you? In the same way a doctor has their degree at the end of their name to establish their credentials and authority in their field, everyone should start putting their amount of followers as part of their names. Business cards, placards, everything. Don't even think about how annoying it would be to constantly be updating all of this if you lose or gain followers. I should mention that just like all these other YouTubers, Kat has plenty of videos about how much money she's made. Anyway, the point that I wanted to make about Katliente, 550K, is that she has an Etsy shop where she sells streaming assets like emotes, badges, overlays, panels, and other stuff probably. These aren't things that she can sell to a general audience. These are products that she sells to her downline. It's only by convincing and recruiting others into streaming, using her advice, that she makes her living.
So, you want to be a Twitch streamer, you've made your Twitch account, but your account looks ugly. Like, it is dead, there is no artwork, nothing. Let's make it look cute together. Also, if you don't want to go through the work of doing all the art yourself, you can go and buy assets. I have an Etsy shop. I have a lot of assets for, very affordable prices.
If she recommends having a cute stream design, it sure is convenient that she happens to sell the solution to the problem she just pointed out to us. Her business, in which she sells streaming assets, is only profitable as long as she's recruiting viewers into streaming with her advice. And of course, recommending her products as part of her advice. Speaking of questionable sales tactics, the third warning sign that a business might be a pyramid scheme is that promoters play on emotions or use high-pressure sales tactics, maybe saying you'll lose this opportunity if you don't act now, and discouraging you from taking time to study the company. This warning sign is slightly less relevant to these content creators. When I talked about Kelsey earlier, I mentioned how it's weird that she simultaneously sells products to her audience while bragging about the associated revenue. I want to take this point and maybe instead of high pressure sales tactics, the warning sign to look out for is that these channels have constant sales tactics. These channels are constantly trying to sell us things. I'm going to talk about Katie again because I have more to say about her and no one's here to stop me. I recently watched this video on Katie's channel, Beginner Guide to Editing Vlogs. Even though I've been learning video editing for many years, I still struggle with it, so sometimes I just watch beginner tutorials like this one to see if there's something that I'm missing. I was also curious about what advice would be specific to vlogging.
Today, we're gonna edit a vlog together in Premiere Pro, and I'm gonna share with you my personal workflow for editing vlogs that your audience will actually click on, and once they're there, will actually watch until the end. Because honestly, a high click-through rate and a high average view duration are pretty much the formula for having the algorithm love you and getting your video recommended more, which helps to get you more views and grow your channel.
The information in this video is presented like an insightful piece of wisdom when it's just saying that good video editing will keep the viewer watching, and that's good for the YouTube algorithm. I already clicked on this video. She doesn't need to keep convincing me to continue watching by explaining why I need good video editing with overly wordy descriptions and constant value propositions. I'm here already, and every video is like this. They're all so incredibly scripted to integrate constant sales tactics. The intent is not to actually share helpful advice. Instead, everything redirects their audiences to one of their revenue streams. The intent is to maximize watch time for ad revenue. Sell the editing template mentioned in the video.
by the way, if you're interested in Lightroom presets specifically designed to help make your YouTube thumbnails pop, I have some included in my content creator starter kit. I'll have a link to that in the description. I made a whole video of high view duration editing hacks that you can check out here. So make sure you watch that next. Check out this video, check out this video, then check out this video. Definitely check out this video. Check out that video next. Go check that out. So please go check that out. I would really appreciate it.
Everything operates around these never-ending sales tactics. If that's not bad enough, these creators also have incredibly deceitful pricing. Katie sells something called a content creator starter kit on her website. Supposedly, the total value of this kit is $388, but it only costs $87. That's not how that works.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Unless I'm missing something, it's impossible to purchase anything individually, and at no point in time or space could these items be purchased at a higher price. This is an unethical and illegal sales tactic known as price anchoring. Another term for it is strike-through pricing because it usually involves a higher, fake price being crossed out. It's a surprisingly common practice, and you'd probably recognize it from some deceptive Black Friday sales. Stores have been known to advertise big discounts, but in reality, they marked up their price before the holidays, so any discount is on an inflated version of the original price. It's not a discount because the item never actually cost that much. If they think an item is normally more expensive, customers are also misled into thinking they're getting a good deal on something of higher quality or value. In addition to the wicked, messed up pricing of this starter kit, I want to mention one of the services that Katie offers through her company, Creatorly Media. The first service at the top of the page is the full social package for Instagram services, $3,200 per month. This is so much money. And there's a 3-month commitment. It costs almost $10,000 to pay Katie or the team of people who she pays, whom she pays, to help with an Instagram account. Bruh. I took a look at their portfolio because I was curious about who pays for these services. Their top client is Natasha, a social media manager turned video marketing coach, educator, speaker, podcaster, and creator. Her channel looks quite familiar. She makes all the same videos that Katie makes. All she's missing is a video about how much money she makes. It's social media entrepreneurs all the way down. I've gotten a little distracted from the anchor pricing, so I want to return to that by discussing another course created by YouTuber Ali Abdaal. I need to talk about Part-Time YouTuber Academy. This is how this YouTube course presents its price. For context, you could pay $10,000 for an hour of my time over a Zoom call for a private coaching session. Or if, like plenty of conference organizers do, you could pay $20,000 to fly me out to give a 30 to 60 minute talk where I cover 1% of what you'll learn in the course. So that's one way of putting our pricing into context. I don't know where to even start with this copywriting. This is horrible. But imagine if this is how everything was priced. Are you interested in buying an apple from the grocery store that you are shopping at right now? For context, imagine how expensive it would be to grow an apple tree yourself. You could pay $390 to buy apple seeds, spray materials, labor, a ladder, pruning handsaw, pruning hand shears. And that's assuming you have somewhere to plant these trees. So that's one way of putting our pricing into context. I bet paying $10 seems like a great deal now. $10 is very affordable when you compare it to these other numbers that I just pulled out of my butt. The other way to put our prices into context is to think of it as an investment in your YouTube business, especially given A, how much your life can change, and B, how much money you stand to make if your YouTube channel goes well. I'm shrugging. I can't think of a single reputable business that would have the shrug emoji in the description of their product. Oh my God. This isn't relevant to my argument, but I just can't believe how condescending this entire messaging is. And then, enough spiel. First of all, understatement of the century. Second of all, Do you know what spiel means? It's a long speech regarded with skepticism or contempt by those who hear it. It's an accurate use of the word because I scrolled through this page with skepticism and contempt, that's for sure. But I feel like maybe this wasn't his intent, so if I were him, I'd pick a word with a less negative definition, probably one with a positive connotation, if I could manage that. And while I'm nitpicking, one more thing I cannot get over is the styling of this website. The vast majority of all of the text on this page is differentiated in some way. Different sizes, underlining, bolds, gradients, highlights. I think it's clear that all of the information on this page is very important. With all this styling, he might as well just highlight everything like this. I don't know. In summary, anchor pricing is deceitful and illegal. Saying something could cost $1 million, but it's a miracle it only costs $1,000 might not be illegal, but it should be. Honestly. And the website for this course gave me a headache because of how many times I rolled my eyes while scrolling through it. All 10 miles of it, by the way. Why is it so long? This page goes on forever. The fourth and final warning sign that a business might be a pyramid scheme is that distributors buy more products than they want to use or can resell to stay active in the company or to qualify for bonuses or other rewards. If you see this happening, keep your money. This is the one warning sign that challenges my argument the most. I can't think of a specific example where a viewer of one of these channels is buying extra product because these channels aren't necessarily selling physical product and they don't have bonuses or rewards in the same way a traditional pyramid scheme would have. I am going to make a comparison though. Let me describe a scenario that I've experienced. I'm watching a video on YouTube. You know what that's like. You're watching a YouTube video right now. I could be watching a video about anything when I notice a video recommended in the sidebar. This video used to be recommended to me all the time. It still gets recommended to me, but it used to, too. Maybe this video gives good advice. Probably doesn't. But it doesn't matter because there's no way that I do something to use the information in the video or apply the advice. It's a lot easier to click the next recommended video instead. And of course, clicking one video on a topic will immediately result in a never-ending list of similar recommended videos, so I have a steady supply of videos to watch. It is so easy to waste so much time watching these kinds of videos. It feels productive somehow. I could have them playing in the background while I'm working, relaxing, doing whatever, and passively osmosis this knowledge into my brain. The more videos I watch, the closer I am to a successful YouTube channel, right? In this instance, the product is advice, and if I were to watch one video for a tutorial about a skill I'm trying to learn, that would be the appropriate number of videos to watch. If I keep watching videos after that, continue clicking on and interacting with the series of videos fed to me by the sidebar of recommended videos, I've bought more product, more advice than I could ever use. The other reason that I might also be motivated to watch more videos than I need is because I want to support a content creator. This is where the stay active in the company comes into play. After watching a couple of videos from a YouTube channel that has been able to give me advice or help me solve a problem I've been struggling with, I feel thankful and I want to pay it back somehow. So I continue watching their other videos, giving my time, interest, and emotional energy to someone who obviously doesn't know I exist. I'm trusting this person to have my best interests in mind, but they don't care about me, and if anything, only view me as a source of income. This is why this is a bigger issue than it seems. It might seem like there's nothing wrong with watching this genre of YouTube. While these content creators might sometimes provide helpful advice, resources, and tutorials, their priority is leveraging their parasocial relationships with their audiences. They make it seem as if they have all the answers on how to build a successful YouTube channel, and they want to help you as long as you can find this content behind their ads, brand deals, sales pitches for their courses, and reminders to click on their affiliate links. I don't think these YouTubers even know what they're doing. All they know how to do is grow their how to be a YouTuber accounts. I don't want to be recruited into their pyramid schemes, and if I have to make content about how to be successful on social media, I'm not interested in what they have to offer. These channels with their MLM pyramid scheme recruitment content need to be avoided, and this is how I'm doing that. I've decided to avoid videos with vague or clickbait titles and thumbnails. Any videos with real advice are titled in a way that anyone searching for it could find it. Vague videos like these aren't even meant to be intentionally found. They spread like fire throughout the YouTube algorithm because people click on them out of a fear of potentially missing invaluable information. I'm also avoiding unoriginal copy and paste content. When I notice multiple YouTubers making the same exact video, it's a sign that this video exists for the algorithm. It's a video format that these creators have discovered to be profitable for them, and I don't want any part of that anymore. Finally, I'm asking myself if these creators have any credibility. In this example, there is a lot to be said about art school. I studied art in college, but I did not go to art school. But why is a poli-sci major encouraging an audience of younger artists to forego a formal education in art in favor of something called the New Masters Academy, in which she gets a commission from any purchases made through her affiliate links? I don't want to support YouTubers who don't know what they're talking about and are profiting directly from the advice that they're giving. Instead of these videos and the algorithm deciding the kinds of videos I watch, I'm going to start limiting myself to videos I intentionally seek out because I want to control what I'm watching. These how to be a YouTuber content creator advice channels are pyramid schemes we should ignore and avoid. They lure in their audiences with false promises about how much money there is to be made in this industry. They're constantly showing us that recruitment is how they make most of their money. They're not sharing a valid product or genuine advice. They have questionable sales tactics, including illegal price anchoring and manipulative and emotionally loaded sales tactics. And they take advantage of their audiences through parasocial relationships. And worst of all, watching these videos is tricking your brain into feeling productive and like you're passively learning and making progress on your goals. This means you're not motivated to work on your projects because nothing is driving your desire to make progress anymore. Watching these videos also means spending less time and effort on your projects. These channels are actively sabotaging their young, impressionable audiences. It's embarrassing to admit how much I have fallen for these scams in the past. I don't even want to know how much time I've wasted watching these stupid videos. We need to stop giving these YouTubers our time, attention, and money. We are doing ourselves a disservice. Thank you for watching this video.
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not even a scheme per se.
I have to go make a call.